Well, hello. Uh, good evening, good afternoon. Hello, laptop, you're loud. We'll solve that issue. Welcome back. You're all probably unfollowed and unsubscribed by now, but yeah, I took a week off. Kind of a surprise week off. Mental health issues. Had a bit of a breakdown, but I'm better now, ish. Getting there. Just a lot of issues just kind of cooled up, and I shouldn't have let it cool up. So it is what it is. Important thing is I'm back, and we're flying again. Hopefully, without lots of issues that we've had. Found a way to manually install AMD video card drivers, so trying that out. So far it seems to be okay. I had a crash earlier today, but I want to blame that on Atlanta. Either way, things are kind of looking on a positive note. So yeah, so we're back. We're going to today fly over a couple of IMSA tracks. So quick get out of the way. Kingsman and Abnormal 34 have both resubscribed. Many thanks to both of you. It does mean a lot. Yeah, it means an awful lot. So we're gonna fly over a couple of IMSA tracks. IMSA is IMSA, which is the International Motorsports Association, and we're gonna fly over Belle Isle near Detroit, and then we're gonna fly over Mid-Ohio. Currently in iRacing, the current track for the IMSA series is, in fact, Mid-Ohio. So we'll be flying over that race course, giving it a look, see how it looks in the sim compared to how it might look in real life. And then we'll make a landing over in Ohio. So you can go ahead and unmute the sim, give it a little bit of ambiance. So we'll go over to the chat and start saying hello to some people. As Seamus McNeil with the raid, many thanks, my friend. You're a gentleman and a scholar. Much appreciated. Playing a little bit of the Fern Bus today was Seamus. Give him a shout out. So we'll go say hello to the chat. Wayland Utani is here. Good evening to you. Pilot Peely, good evening. Good evening, Dougal. Viper Straight, good afternoon. Happy to see you stream today. Yeah, I needed a week off. As Goblin Zeus has subscribed with words that I can't read because they're so small. Does it say great streams? Aha! Now I can read it. Many thanks, Goblin. That's very, very kind of you. Chill Corky is here. I'm honored that you missed me. I needed the break. It's good to be back. It's good to see you all again. Blind Dutchman is greetings to you as well. Bot Up is here. Kingsman is here. Good to see you both. 6 Knots, good evening to you. Good evening, all. And Colonel from Liverpool, good evening, Kingsman from Michigan. And I got your gift, Kingsman, and I shall display it proudly on the stream. A very, very nice Liverpool Football Club scarf. I do have a shirt, and I will probably wear that on Thursday. If everything goes well. Scorpio 49 is here. Good evening. Good. It's getting better. Let's getting better. Let's just say that. Bottom is here and pixels in your face. Yeah. So this is about 2 weeks of growth outside of the stash. Yeah. I actually need to lose pixels. These are recolored pixels, hopefully. Looks like Seamus got the raid figured out. Huzzah. Dougal, no, it's gonna start off we're gonna fly off just before sunrise. So, little nice sunrise action. Tipson 2001 is in the house, the author of the current scenery that you're actually looking at. This is a prototype that he's graciously allowed me to show on stream of Kalamazoo Airport. Got some extra fancy buildings over here. We got some FBOs over here, main terminal over here. Wow, that got really stuttered, didn't it? But yeah, no, fantastic job, and I can't wait to see it grow some more when he gets time. But I'm in no rush. Kitty UK is here. Good to see you. Hope you're well. Good evening, says Goblin. Good evening to you. Night Zep is here. Good evening. As Annalisa with the subscription. Hello, hello. Just off the bus with Seamus. Well, awesome. Just in time to pop on an airplane and go for a ride over Michigan and into Ohio. Oh no, there's a hype train. Splasher 6 with the 3-month subscription, 3-month sub anniversary. Many thanks, Splasher 6. Great to have you along. Good to see it. Kingsman says we all miss you. I missed you guys. But I needed some time to myself to sort my brain out a little bit. Katie UK loves the shirt, absolutely. But this is from the Till Valhalla Project, an organization that raises funds for Mission 22, which is a veteran suicide prevention program, which I wholeheartedly support and endorse. We'll be back here soon to vastly improve. 100% Jepson, I can't wait to see it. But I can't wait, but I can wait. I'll wait. Happily. Thanks, Splasher. Says welcome back. That's very true, Annalisa, and I hope that it kind of balances itself out. Kingsman, you do just cheer and the number as one word, no spaces. So cheer, number, cheer, and then the number with no spaces. At least you have one. My father always said if I had a brain. Dude, I've always said I'd lose my head if it weren't attached to my body. That's very true. Cheer with no S. You almost got it. And that's kind of like me in thinking. If I think something bad happens. He figured it out. Many thanks, Kingsman. Abnormal 34 with the 5 gift subs going out to 6 knots. DeWalt 26, G Knack, Waltons, and Flying Dutchman. Well, many thanks, Abnormal 34. That's very, very kind of you. Two-Tone Murphy's in the house. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Warhamster and my mother said I had a face like a SJ Fly 2 is in the house. Good to see you. No worries, Kingsman. You're all good. It takes a bit of a learning curve, but I think it's a much better platform for streaming than YouTube. YouTube has its perks, but overall, I think Twitch has the better infrastructure. So yeah, you might be wondering, what are we flying for the first time back? Well, funny you should ask. We're in the Piper Seneca, a beautiful, beautiful aircraft from Coronado. And there's Two-Tone Murphy being a legend himself, giving 5 subs to the community, going out to Mike71G, Hopping Orange 36, Sim Murray 1234, Cargo Cult 055, and Sermo IPL. Many thanks, dude. That's very legendage of you. I agree wholeheartedly, SJ Fly 2. They were built from the ground up as a streaming platform. YouTube they made it work, but it's just, the infrastructure isn't there. It's better for discovery, though. I will admit that. What time in sim? Asks Dougal. It is 0617. Yes, that was very, very, very kind of Abnormal 34 and Two Tone and all the other cheers and subs and stuff. It's kicking off. Glad to be back. More hamster cheering 269 bits. That's my area code. Many thanks, Hammy. Let me clean out my watch. So, another thing you'll notice, I added a custom channel points redemption thing. Kind of helped me out a little bit. I don't mind the ground crew clipping through the wing. We'll pretend it's not happening. No worries, Kingsman. I'm just glad to have you here, brother. Hope you're keeping well. Flying Dutchman asked, how am I? I'm getting better. We'll say that. I'm getting better. I wouldn't exactly say I'm 100%, but I'm at the point where I can function the way I need to. So yeah, we're here in Dunker. There it is. Murph found it. Now, I do have a hefty cooldown on it, and I don't know how well this is going to show on camera, but I have these guys. That's 14 pounds a piece, and I'm going to do the best I can. Five, 6, 7, 8, 10. You won't see that on Murph's stream yet until he decides that, hey, that's not a bad idea. But it's my way of kind of forcing myself to do a little bit of a workout and keeping accountable to all of you. It's a little hard because of my HOTAS setup, which I could probably take down for these kind of streams, but it is what it is. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get into the cockpit of the beautiful words are hard, Piper Seneca. Ooh, don't mind your band there, or your lady. Got a nice pit sitting there. Got a control tower over yonder. We're gonna go ahead and get this thing going. Want some lightage. Whoopsie. My gin mug weighs 50 pounds. Nice. We have to get more. Yes, absolutely. When you come over here, heck yeah, man. Yeah, 50 pounds is not the same as 50 pounds. I love it, Katie. That's great. The tasty beverage curls. Yes, curls from the desk to the... yes. So, alright. So, we've got lights on. We've got that going. We need to turn fuel on. That doesn't work. That's okay. Fuel is on. Pardon the stutterage from time to time. Okay, so there's there, mags to both. I received a level 3 hype train. Ooh, so we completed a level 3 hype train. Many thanks, everyone. Pilot Peely, yes I am. By the It's by a prototype from the very talented Jeppesen 2001, which it is currently a beta project. Actually, I'd put it in an alpha stage, but it is it's a much more accurate depiction of the Kalamazoo Battle Creek International Airport than is default. Spoons veggie. Ooh. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. Okay, now why aren't they? Nice. Dear Seneca, why won't you start? Thanks, you're both. Yeah, we got it started. Ooh. Shuffle Shoes is in. I'm doing better, Shuffle Shoes. Glad to have you here. Yeah, sometimes this thing's hard to get started, I guess. Not sure why. We're gonna get that. So it's a Seneca Me Too. Yeah, it does a phenomenal job. I got the feel. Yeah, and the Turbo Arrow from Just Flight should be out soon. I should eat more salads. I have been eating better, though. I've been eating better. I've been putting some food logs down in my Discord channel, the channel titled Keeping the Colonel Accountable. Oh, absolutely, Dougal. Although mine kind of sounds like a Waco a little bit. And I think we've got some Thunderflies showing as citations, but I don't know why. Use photogrammetry for the buildings here at KZoo. Looks okay from this distance, of course. Yeah, no, I mean, it still looks 10 times better than the default, and I'm very, very grateful. And I mean, we kind of, you can actually see that that's that. And now, Jeppesen, one thing I did notice, I'm looking at my old camera position. It's not down here. This building right here with the old control tower isn't there anymore. I only just discovered that myself, so just keep that in mind. So, release the parking brake, and we're going to begin our taxi. And we're going to taxi to runway 35. I know this airport like the back of my hand. Got a Baron really just cruising around. Nav lights on, taxi lights on. Strobe lights are on for crossing the runway. We're crossing runway 523. There's a nice VOR. That's a VOR right there. Okay, we're clear of the runway, so we'll go back there. Isn't your Seneca a bit loud? Almost sounds like a Corsair. Yeah, it kind of does. I think there's a sound bleed. I'm under the impression that the Corsair is supposedly going to push out or get an update this week. Whether that happens or not, I don't know, but the rumor has it, as we put our strobe lights on to cross runway 927. We are now entering taxiway Bravo, crossing Foxtrot. We're clear of the runway, lights come off. Right there, you see the restoration building of the Kalamazoo Aviation History Museum, more commonly known as the Air Zoo. They have their warbird restoration inside that building. It used to be the main building, but they got a brand new building that's now their main building. I spent much of my life in that building. Not to mention a aviation technology class I took in high school. It is just a little. The Liverpool scarf, Seamus, was a very kind gift from Kingsman. It is a bit of a long taxi, but that's the way the winds are rolling. Do scenery, have 3 miles for train sim, but well, I'm sure Jefferson would be happy to give you a piece of advice or two there, Katie. Great, hope to fix the train. Yeah. He really is. Yeah, so I do have another shirt that I will wear on stream on Thursday that I also received from Kingsman. And we'll keep it a surprise until then. So we are taxiing a bit fast, but this thing taxis, you look at it and it wants to go. I wouldn't exactly put me as a soccer fan, but I will support Liverpool because Kingsman. And that's all the reason I need. Okay, so taxi light coming off, landing light coming on, strobe light turning on. Clear. Clear. Notch of flaps coming down. Trim. Let's trim up a bit. That will give it light, slowly introduce as we also turn. Oh, hello. It really is. Ooh. Bit of a crosswind. Coming up. Yeah, flaps coming up. 40 Gumble's in the house. I'm getting better, 40. Glad to see you here. Come in here and we're gonna do. Back at the Firefly as 6 knots cheers 500. Many thanks for the bits there, 6 knots. It's very kind of you. So welcome to Kalamazoo. Last time we were here, we were starting the epic U.S. cross country. Flight seems maybe a little loud, so we'll lower the volume there a bit. Still ways to go, 40 Gumbo, but yes, I am doing better. So that there is a high school. It's Winarts High School. There's a nice trail down here that is a good walk. Very nice walk, and I'll probably be, walking that trail quite a bit here soon to help get my health in order. Look at that sunrise, though. So that building is now complete. Down there, it's no longer under construction. And this building right here is the new Air Zoo building. It's really, really nice looking. It's good to be back, Kingsman. I'm glad that all of you stuck with me and were patient with me while I sorted out my head. Right, so we'll go ahead and activate our GPS, vertical speed, and we're gonna go to 3,500. So we only have 100 feet to go. That we gotta make sure. Oh, we didn't adjust our barometer, so or altimeter, but we need to descend actually. Turn and burn, yeah. Kick the tires and light the fires. I appreciate that, 6 knots. I'm not sure what you've learned. I'm good at teaching what not to do a lot of times, but if you learn something, well, huzzah. 100% 40, 100%. And we're waiting to get back to 3,500. So we're making our way towards Saginaw, Michigan. We've got the weather radar going. As you can see, it's kind of cloudy. Beautiful sunrise, though. Let's see. Check. Make sure everything is good. I'm gonna manifold pressure to 30 inches. RPMs down to 24. And huzzah, we are definitely in the air, and we're having a blast. There are 2 things I really like about the Seneca: the weather radar and a proper de-icing system. Yes, they're both very nice. And a very huge benefit to have. Also, I think the lighting on the camera is better. I hope it looks better. That would be Fort Bragg. And That's down in Georgia. We Screaming Eagles have a name for the 82nd Airborne, but I won't repeat it on stream. No, you're wrong. 82nd Airborne is at Fort Bragg. 101st Airborne is at Fort Campbell. There's nothing wrong with the Mooney. Fort Campbell is in Kentucky and is the home of the 101st Airborne Air Assault. I don't know where you got your information, but it was wrong. Ask me how I know. I do have a pillow in the back just because this chair sucks for back support. Now, nothing to apologize. You just got bad information, and you know, my grandfather was a member of the 101st Airborne. He was a sergeant major, jumped well past the point where he shouldn't have been jumping anymore, and it was in Fort Campbell, Kentucky. I need to fill under my... See, mine's mostly about the back. I just need it for my upper back because otherwise I lean too much. It has like very low lumbar support that's not adjustable, and I need it up higher. Which is why I have the chair fund, because I really need a new chair. It's more ergonomic. Now I think my grandpa was in the engineering battalion of the engineering battalion of the 101st. He did some pretty interesting stuff. But yeah, so I'm a descendant of a Screaming Eagle. I also reenact as 101st Airborne, so there's that too. Yeah, dude. Chairs. It's easy to overlook chairs. The gaming chairs, they're cool and all, but I give me an office chair that's designed to be sat in for hours and hours. See, I've had some issues with my sciatic nerve after some lower back issues. Once I switched to a chair, for some reason, the lumbar support messed me up. Ooh, that ain't good. This one, it's better than the last chair I had when I started stream, but it broke almost immediately, and it would rock at a diagonal, which is suboptimal. So I finally got that situation kind of figured out, but the lumbar support's just awful in this one. Of course, my additional weight hasn't helped my situation any as far as posture and such. It was a gaming chair, yeah. So I'm looking at the autonomous. I think it's the autonomous Ergo chair. They do have the Ergo Chair Pro now. They don't have an Ergo Chair 2, but there's like a lower end one that doesn't have a headrest, which is a little cheaper. Then there's the Ergo Chair Pro, which I think I'd rather have. And then there's a really expensive one that it's just like, nah, I'm good, bro. But, you know, chairs often get overlooked. Watched a video from Jay's 2 Cents, and it's easy to overlook a good office or a good chair, especially when you're streaming or playing a lot of video games or whatnot. If you're spending a lot of time in the chair, that's somewhere you actually want to spend a good amount of money. It's kind of like not skimping on money on a CPU or a GPU or a motherboard. You know, those are three components you don't want to skimp money on at all. The chair's kind of like that too. You want to spend some bucks on it to get you a good chair if you're going to be spending a lot of time in it. And you want to make sure you get the right weight capacity, right sitting hour rating, all that fun stuff. But it's very often overlooked. So we are in mid-Michigan right now. In fact, we'll be passing closely to Lansing. May have already passed Lansing. Nope, I haven't passed Lansing yet. So Lansing, the state capital of Michigan, is up yonder a ways. Look at that sunrise. Look at the colors. See, this is why this sim is so good. Because the way the atmosphere does and interacts with the light, it's just so good. It's nuts. Art Singleton is in the house. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're well. You just missed me ranting about chairs. Well, it wasn't really a rant, but kind of explaining how my chair sucks and chairs are often overlooked as far as a gaming setup is concerned. Yeah, chairs, they're awful. You gotta get the right chair. Yeah, I don't remember. It was actually, I think, one of the few Linus Tech Tips videos that I watched. They did a whole... No. It wasn't Linus, it was Gamers Nexus. They did this whole thing about chairs. And, you know, most of those gaming chairs are made by one OEM and just branded differently for different brands. So it's like if you found the OEM manufacturer and said, hey, I want to do a line of this brand or my brand of chairs. Like if Murphy were to go to this OEM and say, hey, I want to make a chair of under my branding and this colors and this sort of thing, it would look and its build would be exactly the same as most of the other gamer racer type chairs, but it would have Two-Tone Murphy logo on it. So it's all done by the same OEM over in China, just different branding. And yeah, exactly, Dougal. The best weather system I've seen. Yeah, 100% Goblin, 100%. Now, don't get me wrong, a real racing seat isn't exactly the most comfortable, but it's designed for safety before comfort. Obviously, it has to have some comfort built into it because of, you're going to be sitting in it for hours and pulling G-forces and stuff. But it has a different purpose in mind than sitting in front of a computer screen playing video games or doing other, computer-related tasks. Is what it is. But when you spend a lot of time in your chair, it's good to spend a little bit of money on it. It's very similar with LED, LCD panel manufacturer. Most of the big brands utilize one of a couple OEM. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, my old racing rig uses a seat from a 2008 Dodge Avenger. And that seat's actually pretty comfortable, but it doesn't rotate. It does what a car seat does. It's not meant to move around, which I wish I could make it into an office chair, but there's the Thunderfly. There's the Thunderflies. I don't know why they're showing up as CJ4s. I have the MB339 installed. I don't know if it's a livery problem or just Microsoft being, Microsoft. I don't know. It's still cool to see them fly, though. Yep. Sim being the sim. Though, I'm not going to sweat it. They still look cool. I have the latest version of it. At least the last version I'm aware of. I have the 3 models. I have the MOU model, so I should have the latest version. So off our left wing that way, you can't really see it too well here during the day, but it's Grand Rapids, Michigan. Probably the second largest city, or the second largest metro area of Michigan, I believe, next to Detroit. And then off that way is Lansing, Michigan. Three ducks in a row, yeah. Oh yeah, look at that. We're kind of in a loose formation of sorts. Michigan is such a beautiful state. A lot of people, a lot of people that aren't from Michigan think of Michigan and they think of Detroit. And that's all they really think of. And, well, that aren't from Michigan and never been there, the first thing they think of is Detroit. Detroit's not the capital of Michigan. Lansing is. There's so much more to Michigan than Detroit. It's kind of like, for us as Americans that's never been to England, there's more to England than just London. It's kind of like Michigan. There's more to Ireland than just Dublin or Belfast. Michigan is such a beautiful state and has a lot of just natural resource and natural beauty to it that is underappreciated in my opinion. That makes sense, and I would guess Saginaw would be next. Kalamazoo's in there somewhere. Battle Creek's shortly after that. Fun fact about Battle Creek: I believe it either is or used to be the cereal capital of the world. It's home to both Post and Kellogg's. It's often called Cereal City, USA. Red Dragon, Simuru. Just getting in, I'll catch up. Well, good to see you. Saw you come back yesterday. Glad to see you back flying again. Oh yeah, then do the same thing with US 131. Just hit that, bam. Don't have to hit 75 until it gets to Mackinac. The engines of this bad boy caused some serious vision problems. Yeah, but in fairness, this is an aircraft designed for more for passenger comfort than it is for pilot visibility. But it's such a beautiful airplane. I enjoy this more than the Seminole, and I significantly enjoy it more than the Baron. The Baron's nice, as is the Seminole, but this one's just so much nicer. Actually, you can kind of see flashing lights of Grand Rapids there in the distance. Now you can. It's in the distance. Although we might be able to get a good look at Lansing. There's Lansing right there. Cherry Capital's Traverse City. I go up to St. Ignace every year and explore the UP for a week. When I was younger, my extended family had a cabin at Curse. Nice. Many moons ago, my family had land up near Fife Lake. Usually in the fall, my dad and I will go up north to, we'll stop in Mackinac, stay the night, go up, see the Sioux Locks, see Tequamanon Falls, just have a good time. It's kind of it's a nice getaway. The UP is so beautiful. It is, isn't it, Kingswood? I mean, between the weather and Michigan's just such a beautiful state in and of itself. It's just awesome. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Get away from the metro, get away from the city. Granted, the wonderful thing about Michigan is you don't have to get too far north to actually get into some beautiful country, but the UP is it's almost like a whole different state. don't forget, crossing the Mackinac Bridge is such an experience because it's still the longest suspension. It's still one of the longest suspension bridges in the world. It's still longer than the Golden Gate. I know everybody knows about the Golden Gate, but Golden Gate's got nothing on the Mackinac. Mackinac, I believe, is 5 miles long from base to base. You know, it's an impressive span. The Straits of Mackinac are very, you know, impressive as far as just distance. Not to say that the Golden Gate's bad, but the Golden Gate's no Mackinac. Mackinac's, you know, nicknamed the Big Mac or the Mighty Mac. Oh, it's incredible. I can feel my blood pressure go down. Yeah. What's really fun is the walking of it. I did that as a kid back in like the mid to late 90s. The Memorial Day Bridge Walk. Oh, that was such an event. And a little nerve-wracking too, because you're talking, it's a big drop. And there's half of the driving surface on the bridge is just grates that you can see through, but they do that for aerodynamic reasons to keep the bridge from oscillating and, you know, tearing itself apart. It's amazing. It's actually a huge, big feat of engineering, the Mackinac Bridge. It's nuts. And they built that in the late 50s, mid to late 50s. There's the Thunderflies. Look them go. It's something I'd like to do again as an adult, but I need to be able to walk 5 miles first. I'm not there right now. I didn't know that. Huh. I know Mike Rowe did an episode of Dirty Jobs in the Mackinac Bridge once. That was cool. I just talked about that. Great minds think alike. But no, it's just, the Mackinac Bridge is such an impressive piece of engineering. It's nuts. Now, the weather might seem gloomy right now. Once the sun gets up a little higher, it's not going to look as gloomy. It's just at this hour, you know, there's still a fair amount of cloudage in the way of the sunnage. But it's still pretty epic looking. He's not wrong. It takes a certain amount of crazy to work on it. Don't forget to stay hydrated. My time chat's not working. I feel like my time chats aren't working. see if that worked. Airport on the... Oh, yeah. I've done it a couple times. Not once on stream. I haven't flown up that way in a while. Old veteran is in the house. Good to see you. The best kind of Zoom, for sure. Hope you're... I'm doing better, but I'm just glad to be back and see you all again. Hope you're well, Scott. Many thanks. It's from the Till Valhalla project. And a portion of their, or I think anything above cost of the product itself, or any profit from it, goes to Mission 22. Oh, that's weird. What's that percentage sound doing there? Streamlabs, you're doing weird things. Old veteran with the cheer, with the bits. Many thanks, my friend. Very, very kind and generous of you. It's good to be back. Still working on my mental health and my physical health, for that matter. But it's a work in progress, and you got to start somewhere. So yeah, it's kind of a tough thing, realizing that holy crap, you've let yourself go and taking ownership of it. But it's an important thing to do. So I'm at the stage where I'm taking ownership of it, realizing that I've let myself go, not trying to blame it on this, that, or the other thing, and just getting after it. Roger that, 40. We're not that far out from Saginaw. So, speaking of Saginaw, KMBS should probably figure out what the winds are doing up that way. So we're going to tune our ATIS to 125, 925. Yeah, so let's see, AP on AP. Roger that, Dougal. So yeah, I've integrated a little bit of workout into the stream. If you look at the channel points. Three, 3, 4, 2, 1. So we're gonna want runway 32. Hey, there they work. And yours and juicy. Well, that's nice of you, 40. We're glad to have you. I don't really have my own community. It really is just a community with two-tone. I know I have my own Discord and so on, but we really have one community amongst us, and it's just, we share it. You know, it's the same community with Seamus and Allison and Ailerons and Murph and myself. We're all one big family helping each other out. That's the way I look at it anyway. Yes, and don't forget to stay hydrated. So we're getting close, so we're going to head in the cockpit. We're about 30 miles out, 11 minutes. Ground speed's about 155. A little slower than indicated, but we've got a bit of a... It's mostly a crosswind from the left. Slightly ahead, so it's slight head-ish wind. I need to get an adapter for my real headset so that I can use it on my computer. So I think that would be fun. Looking at the weather radar, everything's above us, as we can see out the window. But if we go in here and we go there, we can switch it to vertical mode, so we can definitely tell that all the nastiness is above us. Kick in the pants? Honestly don't remember. So we're going to look at runway 32 for landing. Oh, an adapter. Because the plug sizes are bigger on an aviation headset than they are for a PC. Oh, they're leaned. They're at 77%. We're not that high, so I know Sporties has some. Seen them on aircraft sprues. They're not cheap though, but it's a level of immersion. Neither do you, Kingsman. Right back at you, my brother. We'll kick this all in the butt together, because that's what a family does. Let's see. We're not that high. Where is fuel? 26 a gallon. Yeah, 26 an hour. Cylinder head temperature's fine. We don't want the... Because if we go too low, we're going to mess with the turbo temperature. I really shouldn't drink fresh coffee at 9 p.m. You know. My buddy Brazenhead had a stream, was it Sunday night? Kind of made the same mistake. Well, I mean, who needs sleep? Kind of surprised no one else has found the fancy channel. The only person that, what's the yoke above the dash? A HUD? No, it's a window heater. So that's the thing which defrosts the window. Don't ask me how it works, I don't know. But apparently that's what it is. Some afternoon saxophone. Pardon me. So we have the airfield in sight. We're going to end up wanting to take a right-hand turn so that we can approach runway 32. If we give ATIS a listen again. There's quite a bit of farmland up this way. Or farmland? Yes. (3024) Yeah, 3-2 is still the best option. Switch that off. So we're going to get in here. We're going to go ahead and disable the old autopilot. We're going to make a right-hand turn to kind of put us on a left base for runway 32. Let's see, 32 is 40,050. See the Saginaw Bay up there, which flows directly into Lake Huron up there on the horizon. Start reducing power so as to land. Mixture and prop forward. Well, mixture forward anyway. We're gonna reduce prop a little bit. We should be on a good left base. Keep that nose up to lose. 120, that's good enough to put the gear down. Keep a little bit of back pressure so we keep losing speed, get into that white arc so we can get the flaps down. And there's the white arc. We'll put in 1 notch of flaps to help slow us down. And also to help us lose altitude. So we can also reduce. Prop goes to full. Keep using the trim. Below 3,000 feet, which is good. getting ready for the first landing here at Saginaw. Double check the gear is down. Gear is down and indicating. We have 1 notch of flaps in. That's good. We have the end of the runway in sight. Mount Zep's going for runway 05. Coming in for runway 32. We're going to add a little bit of power because I feel like we're dropping a little too quickly. I honestly don't remember the last time I was in Saginaw. One of my favorite vacation runs to Traverse City, Charlevoix, and then up into... Yeah. And I haven't properly visited Traverse City in a long time. There's the approach end. We've got the rear lights. And those engines sure do get in the way, don't they? I'll toss in the next notch of flaps. And what are you doing, Sim? What are you doing, Sim? Nope, that was a CTD. And here I thought nothing ruins the mental health, but like thinking everything's worked out and it isn't. Like, I honestly don't know what the deal is. There's no logic to, there's no rhyme or reason to the crashes. It doesn't give you any kind of error as to what's causing it, which it should. If it were a better piece of software, it would give you an error saying this is what caused the crash. But it doesn't do it. It's just, I wouldn't even put this as beta at this point. It is what it is. We'll press on. Good call. Right, Zep. Night Zep remembers it. Oh, Flight Sim, you got issues and you need to get it sorted out. Many thanks to that, Zep. I just wish this piece of software was more stable, because it's getting quite pathetic, actually. Yep. Seriously, Asobo, if you're watching this, you gotta figure this stuff out, because you gotta figure out a way to develop this offline so that whatever you're tinkering with behind the scenes doesn't ruin people's experience. It's not a professional way to run your stuff. Just saying.
You can't wait on other people to be what you've been called to be. You can't wait on their affirmation. You can't wait on their approval. You can't wait on their support. Sometimes you just got to run and look behind you and say, everybody who wants to run, run, but I can't stop running because you're not running with me. Listen to me, hear me. You can't stop chasing your dream just because somebody in your life won't chase it with you. You can't stop believing in yourself just because somebody in your life won't believe in you. You can't stop chasing the dreams of your life just because when you know when you do it, you're going to have to do it all by yourself.
That was not the button I wanted.
You can't wait on other people.
Listen to that.
To be what you've been called to be. You can't wait on their affirmation. You can't wait on their approval. You can't wait on their support. Sometimes you just got to run and look behind you and say, everybody who wants to run, run, but I can't stop running because you're not running with me. Listen to me, hear me. You can't stop chasing your dream just because somebody in your life won't chase it with you. You can't stop believing in yourself just because somebody in your life won't believe in you. You can't stop chasing the dreams of
It's
your life.
been definitely been a contributing factor to my mental health. I'm not gonna lie. This Sim's instability and the fact that this is what I stream is very disheartening and very, very damaging to my mental stability, quite honestly. You know, because I love flying. I love streaming flying. But for it to just willy-nilly crash is not healthy. And it's frustrating and infuriating among other descriptors. It's just... It's one of the reasons that caused me to take a week off. Magic AAA's had 3 CDs. I don't know. Asobo really needs to get on fixing this because it's downright unprofessional. And they want to put this out on Xbox. They're in for a rude awakening in a lot of ways. If they want to put out a product like this. You have a good one, Waylon. Thanks for coming along. Yeah, Dougal. I it's not even the CPUs so much, it's the GPUs. And it's like, come on. You can't force, you have to work with everybody. You know, I helped develop a website, and we tested it in Internet Explorer because we realized that, you know, just because it's Internet Explorer, it still has to work on it, even though, like, nobody uses it outside of, that's not the right one, you know, outside of loading or finding a way to get Firefox or Chrome or some other browser that isn't Internet Explorer. We made sure it worked. You know, a company like Asobo or Microsoft should do that. And they can't use cost as a excuse. I'm not even running any add-ons or any background programs for Flight Sim. I believe so, Dougal. Yeah, so do I, old veteran. So do I, Scott. I've got an AMD CPU and GPU. At this point in time, Jeppesen, I've lost a lot of respect for Asobo because this shouldn't be doing this. Yeah, I'm not running Rex right now because I don't see the point in running things like VATSIM or SimToolkit Pro or Volanta or any of those add-on things, which I like those programs. They do a lot of awesome things, but the sim itself is unstable enough. They broke it with the world update. They fumbled the fix for it. It's just overall just highly... They're proving to be a huge disappointment overall, and it's honestly the only word that I can really use to describe is pathetic. And now the live weather doesn't work because, you know, the sim is just, it's unreliable. It's so unreliable. And they can't acknowledge it because they'll do anything and everything to blame other things, to blame mods and blame this and blame that. It's the sim. You would think, Jeppesen, but I don't have any faith. I really don't have any faith in them. I just don't. And honestly, if I had something like X-Plane or and the METAR weather sucks anyway. Go to scattered clouds. You know, if I had something like X-Plane, I'd be flying that at this point because it's pathetic how badly they've fumbled all of this. Like, it's very not cool. So I don't even know if I can catch any landings or not. You know, they've honestly, they're really dropping the ball, and I can't keep defending them. I cannot keep defending them. Oh, that's awesome. It's awesome that servers went offline. Great job. Great job, Asobo. Good job. Well, I'm still getting servers shown. I can't keep defending Asobo. I just can't. I don't see anybody either so far. I'm connected to a server somehow. MSFS servers. Well, I got people now. So we switched to scattered clouds because I can't trust anything server related on Flight Sim. It's just it's such a sad state of affairs. I want to love the sim, and it's visually stunning. It's beautiful. There hasn't been a sim like it. But they can't stop adding new fancy things when they can't fix the core of it. Focus on DX12, get the fixes out, then worry about adding new stuff. Because it's the sim is pointless if it's not functional. It really is. And, way to, screw up my mental health because I want to be happy with this and I just can't. I just can't. I can't defend it anymore. I can't. Finding a silver line is getting harder and harder to do. All because they don't fix the stuff that's actually broken. They couldn't even add stuff to Normandy. Right. Get the airplane started and we'll get show on the road. I wanna sing the Sims praises, and I'll acknowledge the great points about this, but I just can't recommend it as much as I'd love to, just because it's unstable. You never know when it's going to have a sim crash. It doesn't matter. Anything that I change, it doesn't change the stability of the sim. Nothing I do fixes it. I've tried manually installing my drivers, not letting AMD's software do it. I've tried so many things that don't help. It's the sim itself being unstable in a lot of ways. That's just the facts of it. Well, don't mind your man there. I love the sim for being beautiful and it having a great approach with multiplayer, but in a broad sense, I can't sit here and just keep defending it. until they start actually fixing things, I can't. There's lights as we cross the runway. And the worst part is, I went through so much trouble trying to get this to work for no benefit. None. Every time I think it works, nope. It's disheartening, it's depressing, it's just discouraging. If I had X-Plane right now and could get it even close to this level of visual fidelity, I'd be flying that right now instead of this. And we'd run Joint FS for multiplayer, and that would be that. The sim is way too server dependent for things. I would rather deal with a heftier install for the being imagery and at the sacrifice of its streaming. Gladly. So it's one less thing to go wrong. Say strobe light on, landing light on, taxi light is still off. We're gonna get in here, close the little window off to the side. Alright. So yeah, the power in. Well, see, it's not even the multiplayer itself that it's everything is done with the server. The being imagery, the photogrammetry, whatever tweaks they do in the background is somehow server related. The replay system's server related. Yeah, you know, everything is so dependent on servers and being connected online that it's just inherently unstable. And it's so dependent on your internet settings. And I rebooted my router or my modem router, it's a combo thing, right before the stream. Like, right before it. You know, they make changes in the background, it affects the live sim. You know, I can't continue to sit here. Honestly, it's bad for my mental health to try to find some, you know, silver linings at this point, because I'm just trying to make myself feel better when, honestly, it's just, they need to change their approach, because what they're doing is very unstable. They need to make it so dev mode is offline only. You know, when people, because there's too many people that will, you know, change into an aircraft, you know, from one and using dev mode, that breaks the sim for some people. I know it's caused problems for me before. You'll get a lag and all of a sudden, oh, it's because somebody changed aircraft using dead mode. There are too many aspects about the sim that are reliant on internet connectivity and server-based whatever. It just shouldn't be. FSX had its share of problems, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say that it didn't, but at this point in time, I'm not trying to find any silver linings for this, because the way they're handling it is poor as well. I'm not going to try to defend them anymore. Make some genuine fixes. I don't care about world updates. Make the sim run better. Then worry about the visual stuff, because by default it looks great. Every part of the world that they've updated has looked phenomenal right from release. And that's not even, you can't even really argue against that. But the fact of the matter is, they focus more on doing that than actually, fixing the core of the sim. So they have a misplaced priority, whether that's Asobo directly or Asobo at the direction of Microsoft. That's still, in my opinion, a poor management of priority. It's wonderful that it looks great, and I do enjoy it for that aspect, because I am a GA pilot. I love being able to load up the sim, be able to recognize exactly where I'm at based on looking at the ground, seeing fields and other landmarks. No other sim can do that out of the box. But what good is it if the sim keeps crashing and not even getting an error as to, oh, this is what caused it, or this is what the sim was doing when it crashed. This is the error that caused it to crash. Those are things that should be a thing. I love the ability to see the Thunderflies, and now I see them as MB339, so huzzah. Honestly, I'd rather do that. I would rather do that, because then it's not internet dependent. Because you'd get the same effect and you wouldn't need the internet connection while the sim is running. I mean, I like the idea of a lot of the things that they're doing here. I like it. Kahari is here. Good to see you. Hope you're well. I like the idea, and I like a lot of what they're doing. It's just their methods aren't what I would consider favorable. Okay, we've gone past the altitude that we want. Ooh, that's awesome. Well, cockpits are nice. Check my temps. Oh, that's awesome. What are you modeling on? Are you just doing kind of like a desk cockpit setup? Space desk? Can't say as I have. Is it anything like Space Pants? Cue Dancing Peter Dinklage. I need a dadgum haircut. Hey, that much. Yeah, I do apologize for the negative comments. You know, as far as Flight Sim's concerned, it's just I've about had it. With the unreliability of the sim. It's a program where you can connect your Android or iPhone to your PC and let parts of your play. Oh, that's nice. So are you doing like a desk setup, or are you actually making like the cockpit of something? Like I used my 10-inch tablet show G3000 in my favorite. Ooh, nice. Well, there you go, Karia. That's awesome. You know, I hope it even for theirs, especially for their sake, 40, that they do improve it and they make it more reliable, because quite honestly, it's not going to go well, because if it crashes like that on Xbox, you got an even broader user base that's going to practically riot and then be like, I want my money back. You know, if I would love it if they came out, you know, and say, hey, we're releasing DX12, the DX12 update on this date, and it's going to fix all all the stability problems. Great. Do that before you do any world update. That's all I'm really saying. Is I want them to update the stability before they start making things fancier. You know, it's what's the point of a sim if it keeps crashing, you know? Yeah. Oh, exactly. And that's the thing. They're not going to be as patient as PC users. you know, because you're talking about a much broader audience that expect things that once they download it from the store and then they install it, they want it to work. You know, I really hope that some beta tester out there, or that's been doing it for forever, can sit here and say, look, they've made great strides and it will actually improve with the X12. But me being just the average Joe user, I can't sit here and laud them for being awesome, because the sim itself is good, but it has a way to go before it's great. And I'd love it to be great. I'd love it, hands down. I wouldn't even think about touching other sims if it had the stability. And you think it's rough getting feedback from PC users. Once you hit Xbox users, that's a whole other ball of wax, and it's not pretty. I don't usually. The more stuff I run, the more chances there are to crash. So I don't run a whole lot. I literally have Spotify, OBS, and Flight Sim running on my streaming PC, and I use my laptop to have my stream dashboard, an actual page for Twitch, and I have SkyVector running, as well as Discord and other things. So I try to take as much off of the sim or off the PC to reduce the stress, to hopefully, in some delusion, make it more stable. Oh, absolutely, 6 knots. Absolutely. Oh yeah, and even to that end, 40, look at what happened with No Man's Sky when it first launched. I mean, that was a complete divergence of what they were advertising. Granted, it took them a couple of years to make good on what they promised initially, but still, you have a lot of upset people. There's still people that won't touch No Man's Sky because of the way things happen. And I'm sure there are people like that with Cyberpunk. Yeah, Goblin, and it's the thing of it is they need to, their priorities are so mixed up because they've focused so much on making the sim prettier and improving parts of the world instead of just improving the sim, the core. That's where I have a problem with what they're doing. You make things fancier and you're adding new tech and new ways to do photogrammetry. Cool. That's awesome. You're making the sim even more unstable. You're layering your problem. You're adding more variables to the problem of stability. And, that's a problem. That's not a good way to do things. Take care of your core issues, then, maybe give a visual enhancement of something as you go, once you get things working better, or as you make it better. But when you start adding more variables into an existing problem, it doesn't help solve the problem. Oh yeah, no, I love this past week I've played so much No Man's Sky. It's so fun. Neither have I, but I also haven't played Cyberpunk a lot. I am playing on Cyberpunk on PC, and I haven't had any issues with it. But again, I haven't played it that much. It's a huge emphasis on the standalone games of the last 10 years or so. You're gonna, yeah. And I really think they underestimated it. They added it as a feature and they really underestimated it. But at the same time, they also haven't caught up with it. They should have by now realized that, hey, this is a thing. We need to focus on what's making it, how to adapt for it. And they haven't adapted to it yet, as far as I can tell. I mean, case in point, they added in, delivery bug came back. And, that's huge. That was game breaking for most, especially for streamers. At least those of us that don't do the tube liners. Yeah, 6 nuts. That's 100% it. And the worst part of it is if they're gonna have everything online, great. Have servers for working on the back end, and then have your live servers for users. That way you're doing the fixes and you're doing the tweaks and you're doing all the maintenance and all that stuff in the background. And like once a month or once, so often you're about to do an update, shut the servers down. People can still fly offline and in pre-cached areas. And so that, sim service isn't necessarily interrupted, because we still have things like JoinFS, but schedule the maintenance, say the servers are going to be down on this day for X amount of time, so that users know ahead of time that, hey, they're going to be down from this time. That way, their tinkering doesn't mess with the live system. And it goes back to one of the, that methodology. I like what they're doing as far as tech and making this a next gen flight sim. I like that. That's awesome. But some of their other methodology of how they're going about that, I call into question. And misplaced priority. Their maintenance stuff should be on separate servers from the live stuff. Like the beta stuff should be separate from Ground Branch. Ground Branch, basically, when you purchase Ground Branch, you get Ground Branch and you get Ground Branch CTE. Which, don't ask me what CTE, but it's basically the beta version. So you've got the live, full, regular, stable game. And then you've got a version where it's testing out the new features and this and that. And so they keep it separate so that, you can have your stable experience, but you can also have your beta experience. And the beta experience won't affect the live experience. Do all your maintenance and upgrades and whatever on separate servers from the live player servers. There you go. Looks like there's a couple of U.S. Navy ones. Or U.S. Navy, U.S. Marine. But separate those. Other games do it. Other game developers do it. And it solves a lot of headaches, if I'm honest. Because they still get to do what they're doing, but they're not, making everything else so unstable that, users are having issues. But, what do I know? Look at that. There's Peely, there's Steve Solo. The hamster? Yummy. And CTD. This is unacceptable. This is absolutely unacceptable. It wasn't the internet. The internet was fine. It was the sim. Well, if you're willing to fund a whole separate PC for, streaming, so I can have a 2 PC streaming setup, by all means. I ain't got that kind of money. Murph does it just fine and has very few issues. Flight Sim does not play well with AMD GPUs. That's not my fault, that's their fault. Well, Viper Strike, when you start streaming and you get the same issues, you sort out the settings and let me know. Yep, Muse fan, I certainly am, and I have an AMD CPU. It's the AMD GPU. You have a good one, Pilot Peely. Thanks for flying along for as much as we could. No worries, Kaharia. Not that's as good. Not to mention stuff that's not as good or solely for NVIDIA or will work with AMD GPUs. No, I'm not. I don't do any kind of overclocking. I don't touch it. I don't mess with overclocking because that in and of itself causes too much instability issues. I think the only thing that's even technically overclocked is my RAM. That's it. I can run No Man's Sky, Division 2, other newer titles. Fine. It's just Flight Sim. Cap at 9 being a legend, giving out 5 tier 1 subs to the community, going out to Strap 21, Muse Fan, Scooter 7, Boulder 65, and Orion Flying. Many thanks, dude. I wish there was more Flight Sim for those folks to enjoy, but we're still having issues. Mine is as far as I know, it's just there's only 6 gigabytes available on an AMD 5600 XT. I do that every time, 40. Every single crash, I go right to the event viewer and look. Every single time. Things are way too server connected. You know, one small packet of information gets weirded out and causes problems for the sale. Oh, I appreciate it. I'm saying a lot of negative stuff, and I do apologize for it, but it's that or I rage, and I'm not going to rage. But I'm starting to use the baseball 3 strikes and you're out kind of methodology in this, because if I get another crash, we're done. You have a good one, Dougal. Glad to have you along. Sorry that there wasn't more flying on my end. It is and it isn't, Catbat. It shouldn't be, and they need to do more to be visible. Of hey, if I would have more trust and faith in Asobo right now if they came out and said we're aware of the core issues, we're going to stop trying to make things fancy and just focus on the core stability of the sim. That would give me a little bit more confidence in them. But they're still saying, they're adding aircraft, they're adding more world updates when they need to focus on the core. I just can't. There's not a lot of good things I can say right now as far as the silver lining with the sim, other than it looks good. Wish it functioned better. Yeah, I'm hoping it gets fixed soon, but at this point in time, I have very little confidence in Asobo. I just don't have any. Like, I want credit for beta testing this. We all should. You take care of Shuffle Shoes. Sorry that there wasn't more flying on my end, but there's only so much I can do. You have a good night, Zep. Sorry for the lack of flying from me, but I hope you have a good night. Have a good one, Scott. Thanks for popping along. Yeah, I've seen a lot of fixed claims, and I don't know how much faith I put in any of it at this point. You have a good one, Chilled Corky. Thanks for coming along. Wish I could have shown off more flying, but that's what it is. You have a good one, Triple Eight. Sorry for your CTDs, and sorry I couldn't showcase more flying. Yeah, see, now I'm on live weather. There should be clouds. Maybe not a lot of clouds, but there's no clouds. So we're going to go back to scattered clouds. Claiming CDs without any message being sent to really. Yeah, that's a big complaint too. You know, it's like it should have some sort of data log of this is what the sim was doing when it crashed. You know, I can't think of a reason why a modern AAA, supposedly AAA type title, at least in the realm of flight simming or simming in general, wouldn't have something like an error log built into it. And the worst thing is yesterday I flew the first half of Murph's flight in VR over Vegas, where I've never been able to get close to downtown Vegas, just with photogrammetry on, no generic models, nothing. And it worked flawlessly. It was amazing. I had such confidence. And then today it's nothing but problem. I don't get it. I don't understand it, and it makes no sense. So we'll go for runway 25. Just by some casual reasoning, on forums, it appears that the latest update has really caused instability issues. I agree, but so far they've shown nothing other than a couple of hot fixes to fix major issues that they're going to be like, okay, this is going to be fixed. Things happening. That's fair, Cat Bat 9. That is fair, and it's infuriating because I want to enjoy this. I want to fly this a lot, but I can't. And I want to put you guys. Most everybody here is here because of flight sim. So I feel some obligation to you guys to bring flight sim content. And it's getting difficult or darn near impossible to do because of issues that I have zero control over. And beyond that, it really feels like Microsoft or Asobo don't care enough to really put out a fix or to change their focus to fixing the core stability. I had everything as it's been today was like it yesterday, and it was flawless in VR. Now, see, Goblin, I'm a firm believer that dev mode should be limited to offline only. There's no reason to run dev mode unless you're actually developing something, and it should not be online. You should lose online functionality whilst using dev mode, because I think that in of itself causes problems. Keen Lafford is in. Good to see you, dude. I think people that use dev mode for this, that, and the other thing in Flight Sim multiplayer cause problems for other people. Not by fault. I don't think it's not an active thing, but the use of dev mode can very easily cause issues when running multiplayer. Shut it. Nice, Keen. I'm not an expert either, Goblin, but I know what I see. I base what I'm saying is based on pure observation. You know, I don't know the technical details, but I know what I see. Like, at this point in time, I'm going to stream on Thursday, but I can't promise it's going to be a Flight Sim stream. If you all want to, you know, if you're all going to show up, that's awesome, but I can't guarantee that it's going to be a Flight Sim. It might be something different. It might be racing. It might, if I can get it to work, it might be No Man's Sky. You know, but we'll see. I just can't promise it's going to be Flight Sim. That's there. A little bit of power. Glide slope. That skier's already down. On final. She's bumpy. I got a crosswind because I'm right runway. But that's a challenge. I wish I could say, Goblin, I really don't know. I've stopped trying to figure it out because what's the point? If they get it fixed, great. Yeah, if not, I don't know what to say. I really don't know. I'm really losing my confidence with all of this stuff. So we'll get here, get parked. And then I gotta go to the main menu to, at the very least, the main menu to load the next leg of the flight plan. At least if it'll let me. Cross over the runway. Well, I guess it's not quite the runway, but it's a displaced threshold. Pause it there. See if anybody's doing any landings. Looks like no, everybody's probably landed. So we'll go out and hey, for once I'm using the screen and the sim's still running. I really wish I had an answer to all these issues because it's frustrating. There should be a stable live environment. Exactly, Red Dragon. That's what I've been saying. Because if that were the case, this sim would probably be a ton more reliable. You know, have two executables, one that goes to the beta or testing server aspect, and one that goes to the stable version. That's how it should be. There are plenty of titles that do that and development studios that do that. And that's how you provide a good testing environment. You know, you can't do that when you have a, you know, yeah. I don't understand why they don't do it, but I'm no game developer. I'm not part of a SOBO. I can't speak for them. But, you know, it would make their sim a whole lot more stable and make the whole experience a whole lot better. Well, funny you say that, Muse fan. Not that long ago, I had to do a complete reinstall of Windows because I had turned off my computer, turned it back on, my C drive was completely wiped. So my Windows install is fresh as of like maybe a month or two. You know, and everything to boot. So I've even done that. Yes. I might have to double check them just to see if that undid itself. So things to look at in the Motor City are the Detroit Renaissance Center, or the GM Renaissance Center, I should say. Joe Louis Arena is still there, although that building's been torn down since the photogrammetry was done. Little C... Oh, you... GM Renaissance Center, Joe Louis Arena, Ford Field, Comerica Park, and Little Caesars Arena is not there because it's too new for the photogrammetry. And Comerica Park is directly adjacent to Ford Field. Yeah, don't try to fly under Ambassador Bridge. It doesn't work. Yeah, I'm a fan. I don't know. Yeah, I just frustrated beyond belief. There's too many question marks. I don't like a lot of question marks. Like, I'm even right now going through settings, turning some stuff down to see if something works. I don't know why I hit F3. That doesn't do anything. Right. No, we're just going to deal without clouds, because at least we got the wind. So... wind and temperature, at least. Fuel up. That's it. Master, beacon, max both. You have a good night, Kaharia. Glad to have you along. Sorry I couldn't showcase more flying for you. Okay, avionics are coming on, nav lights on. That's up. It's 124,875. I appreciate that, Kaharia. I'm very grateful for y'all's patience with me as I deal with the issues. 875.
Detroit Airport Information Alpha 1200 Zulu. Line 288 at 14. Visibility 10. Sky condition. Few clouds at 800 feet. Few clouds at 4,300 feet. Few clouds at 11,900 feet. Temperature 12. Dew point 10. Altimeter tree 0.22. ILS runway tree in use. Landing and departing runway tree. VFR aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact you have Alpha. Detroit Airport Information Alpha 1200 Zulu. Line 288 at 14.
288 at 14.
10. Sky condition. Few clouds at 800 feet. Few clouds at 4,300 feet. Few clouds at 11,900
We have a wind sock.
feet.
There's a wind sock.
12. Dew point 10.
Yeah, so we actually might want.
ILS runway tree in use. Landing and departing runway tree. VFR aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact you have Alpha. Detroit Airport Information Alpha 1200 Zulu.
Alright, that's enough out of you. Let me. Winds are not favoring runway 33. Winds are favoring 25. So we shall take off runway 25. And we're right there. Huzzah. So here. Strobe lights come on. Landing light comes on for visibility. Say 1 notch of flaps comes down. And away we go. And up we go. Positive brake. Here coming up. So I've turned everything to generic. Photogrammetry is off. Live weather doesn't seem to be working properly. In a lot of ways, I think the world looks better outside of the photogrammetry because the photogrammetry just doesn't blend in all that well. There's like a distinct darker shade of color to the photogrammetry than there is to the not photogrammetry, the auto-generated stuff into the Bing maps. I think that's a Chrysler test facility. There's Arborchetta with us. So we're really not that far from downtown, but it's going to look like crap on my screen because I turned off photogrammetry. We'll do a circle of the field. Kind of let everybody get around. Dial back engine performance. We shall fly over Detroit. We'll fly over Belle Isle, which is where I think the IndyCar races at, as well as IMSA. iRacing is the iRacing IMSA series is at Mid Ohio this week. They do also race at Belle Isle. I don't know when that's scheduled though. You'll be watching Liverpool game Thursday evening. I don't even have a way to. That was a gift from Kingsman, who is very awesome and generous, and gave that to me as a gift. Because awesomeness. I plead the fifth. Redacted. Oh, silly usernames. Mad Matt. Now that's a relatable gamer tag. Man, we've dialed back the. Let's go back to 2300 RPM. We've dialed things back and we're still cruising fast. So right up ahead, you'll see Belle Isle. Now it's a street circuit, so you can't really necessarily tell where the race course is during normal street operation. But it's a neat landmark regardless. Get a nice look over some northern-ish, Detroit-ish area. Now, I don't claim to know where the circuit is exactly. It is a street circuit, and they do use the island. I just couldn't honestly say the layout, or what the layout is. But they do use the island of Belle Isle. Baseball. I might have to look into the layout for Belle Isle, but it's a neat, kind of a unique circumstance, given that it's an island. It's almost like Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Toronto. Toronto? I think it's in Toronto. Or no, it's not. I don't remember where it is, but it's kind of the same kind of concept, I think. So it's pretty cool. It's on the St. Clair River. Windsor is right across the river from Detroit. So that is Canada. on the other side of this area. So the main lane so this main lane, that's the U.S., that's Michigan, that's Detroit. Belle Isle, that's part of the U.S., and anything on the other side of that is Canada. Fly down the St. Clair River to get a look at. We get to see Detroit and how it looks without the photogrammetry. Now, I'll admit, the photogrammetry does make downtown look better, but just given the state of how the sim's been behaving this evening, I've turned photogrammetry off. So we'll get to see how it looks. It's probably not going to be great. Oh yeah, it's already looking iffy. Oh, it'll be interesting to see what the Renaissance Center looks like. If they even model it. See, I can see Cobo Hall or TCF Center or whatever it's called now. Wow, they don't even put the Rensen in. Oh, that's unfortunate. So the Renaissance Center should be right here. And that's nothing what it looks like. Oh, there's Millennium Park. There's the Cobo Hall TCF Center. Joe Louis. Oh, they don't actually model the Joe in. That's kind of nice. Even though it's there on the scenery. So, yeah, Detroit doesn't look like Detroit. Other than the satellite image. That's kind of neat, though. You know that? Alright. So we're going to go to make sure that's on GPS, nav, vertical speed, and nav mode. And we're going to aim back for 3,500 feet. For 9, we want to go for 1,000 feet a second. 1,000 feet a second? 1,000 feet a minute. So we'll say farewell to Detroit for now. And make our way down into Ohio. We will be checking out the Mid-Ohio sports car course, Mid-Ohio race course. Yeah, I had to think about that for a second. It's like, no, that didn't sound right. How you doing, Geek Guy 502? Hope you're well. 1,000 foot a second. That's probably more, space shuttle, space rocket, SpaceX territory than a Piper Seneca. Boy, if a Piper Seneca could do 1,000 foot a second, woof! Talk about a ride. I'm hanging in there, doing the best I can with what I got. We're about to get on the Magenta line and fly down into Ohio near Mansfield, where the Mid-Ohio Racecourse is. What's the actual name? Mid-Ohio. Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. Say that 3 times fast. Oh, and looks like IMSA is actually going to be at, or no, the Acura Sports Car Challenge is this weekend, it seems. So May 14th through the 16th, the Acura Sports Car Challenge at Mid-Ohio, headlined by IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship. Aha! June 4th through the 5th is the B&L Transport 170 at Mid-Ohio, headlined by the NASCAR Xfinity Series plus ARCA Menards Series. June 20th. I've done past the altitude I wanted. I knew I was forgetting something. Red Dragon, were you running photogrammetry by any chance? So I'm starting to think there are some severe bugs with the photogrammetry. Yeah. I think that's causing issues for a lot of people still. I think there's a lot of bugs still with photogrammetry. Again, another server related thing, but whatever. Interesting. Who knows? So we're about to fly over Lake Erie, which of the 5 Great Lakes, it is the smallest and the shallowest of the Great Lakes. Right there, and I clicked the button and it didn't want to stay. There we go. And there's also terrain bombs, areas that you can fly into. The FPS does fly out, and that's fine. Yeah, I've said enough negative things for one stream. I'm gonna. At this point, I'm just gonna zip it. So this is lovely Canada, or a little bit of it. We should have some nice clouds, but, well, live weather doesn't want to work. I do love the Piper Seneca, though. It's such a nice airplane. I honestly think it's Coronado's best outing to date. I know for a fact that they are working on adding compatibility for the beta GNS 750 mod. I don't imagine they're gonna shoehorn it into the Waco, but it'd be nice of them to. I know they said they're gonna put it into their fleet, which I hope includes the Cessna 182. But I also hope that means that they'll give the C-182 an option for steam gauges, because just having it doesn't make sense to have a GNS 750 with when you have a G1000 installed. Well, that's a loaded question. It all depends on what you're looking for. I mean, you get similar performance out of it. I don't fly the Mooney enough to really have a strong opinion on the Mooney, one way or the other, as far as better or worse. So, I don't know. I enjoy it. I think just a lot of the details, like the weather radar is a nice addition. Some of the clickable features, like you can get into the cockpit, and you got that. You can close the shades, rather. Got the table. So, better than the movie? Or the movie? The Mooney? I'd put it on par with the Mooney. I guess it really just boils down to, it's a nice option to have Mooney performance with multiple engines if you like flying twins. If you prefer a single engine for the sake of visibility, Mooney's probably the way to go. I agree, Lollylol. I think a lot of people overlook the fact that they make nice, affordable, detailed aircraft. Sure, they might be light on systems, and you can't click all the fuse box, all the fuses and circuit breakers or whatever. But there's a lot of people that aren't interested in that. So I think they're doing phenomenal for what they aim to do. Go to bed, working tomorrow. You take care, Goblin. Thanks for flying along. You have a good night and a good day at work tomorrow. Yeah, no, the same. The detail for the price point, you can't beat it. Yeah, the Seneca is very, very nice. So that island out there is Peel Island, P-E-L-E-E, Peel Island, unless it's Pele Island, which is a Canadian island just by the sake of the borders. However, and many of these small islands are also Canadian, or within the Canadian border. Once we get to these larger ones, that's where the U.S. border, or they're just on the other side, so the U.S. border kind of goes in here, cuts off right there. So all these islands are U.S. territory, whereas this island, these small islands here, are all Canadian. On one of the bigger islands in the U.S. side, roughly that way, is Put-in Bay, which is a kind of a touristy place, a nice spot to go enjoy being on the lake on an island. We'll be flying over the Erie Ottawa International Airport. And we'll also be going by Sandusky. So let's see. W2. Okay, so this bigger island straight ahead, that is put in bay. And I guess they have a bit of a snake problem because this little airfield right here, that's Rattlesnake Island. That should give you a cue. I would imagine that there's probably snakes on there. So I will never go to this island. It really is. It just had. I think Coronado keep getting better and better with each aircraft they release. And, you know, the more little things that they add, I think they're going to do very well. There's Put in Bay. There's one family that's listening. It wouldn't be my family, I can tell you that. I wouldn't even step foot on it. I have reservations of going to Put in Bay, let alone Rattlesnake Island. I don't do snakes. Snakes are no bueno. Oh, pardon me. So off in the distance, I don't know if I have it installed or not. I think I do. But you see the Cedar Point Amusement Park. Off in the distance. Which sure look at nobody's really following us right at the moment anyhow. We'll go fly over it because we can. I haven't been to Cedar Point in eons. mean, I'm not a huge roller coaster fan. Like, I'm not a huge thrill seeker. I do enjoy a good roller coaster from time to time, but it's more for the feeling like I'm in a fighter jet. I'm doing maneuver. It's what the part that I hate the most is the slow climb up and then the drop. Once we're on the regular course, I'm good. Because it kind of goes back to, I don't do heights. Don't put me on a tall ladder. The highest point of a roller coaster, I'm gonna lose my mind. But when it comes to flying an airplane or a regular part of a roller coaster, I'm good. Unclear Ocean 696 with a subscription. Many thanks, dude. It's very kind and generous of you. Hello to you as well. How you doing? I enjoyed the Raptor quite a bit, but the jet. Maverick. I think it was Maverick, or I think that was the one. That was probably one of my favorite ones. At least once I became an adult. So well, hopefully we can give some sort of advice. We'll do our best. And there we have Cedar Point. And they themed it like Top Gun, which is awesome. I don't think I ever got a chance to get on Raptor. I think I've been on Millennium Force. I keep trying to reinstall Flight Sim and it keeps saying I have to sign into Xbox, and I never had to have an Xbox account to play it. That's an excellent... It's a very good question. It never... Try signing out of... If you have the... are you on Steam or Microsoft Store version? Steam? Ooh. That I don't know. I couldn't say. You might have to call Microsoft support on that one. Ask on the, I don't know if you're on the Two-Tone Murphy Discord or not. But it might be worth an ask there. Beyond that, I couldn't honestly say, because if you're on the Microsoft Store version, I would recommend logging out of it and then logging back in to see if that fixed anything. But if you have the Steam version, that wouldn't help. Sorry I couldn't help further. Rolling. Gain altitude. Because I have the Microsoft Store version just because I didn't feel like I could trust the Steam version. I've heard of so many issues with the Steam version that I've stayed away, and I generally recommend people get the Microsoft Store version. So I wish I could help better, but sorry. I don't know. Getting back to 3,500. I'm going to try making a new Microsoft account to see if that works. It's worth a shot. The only other thing is if you have like any kind of like an Xbox app, because I'm guessing that most people are on Windows 10 by now. If you go to your Xbox app and even log out and log in again with it, maybe that could do it. I don't know. I have the Steam version. I've always been signed into my Microsoft account on that. Ooh, 40 Gumble might be able to help out their Unclear Ocean. Done out of water. If so, making another out will cause you some problems. I believe if you join the two terminals, so send me a DM with a screenshot of. Yeah, unclear if 40 might be able to help you out. Man, that sun's making me really washed out because I have a mildly unobstructed window. I've got a flag hanging there. See if I can diminish that a little bit. There we go. It's a little more tolerable. I never had a Microsoft account for this game before. Just download and play. Interesting. That's weird. It seems like you would have had to have some sort of Microsoft account to even load it up, even if you use Steam. There's the Ohio Turnpike. Maybe it isn't. That's rail line. Never mind, that's not the turnpike at all. That's just rail line. Might have flown over the turnpike. Yeah, it might have been the turnpike back there. That's a lot of rail line, too. We're actually not that far out from the next waypoint at 35 nautical miles. I feel like I've taken that road before. Got it working? That's good. Awesome, awesome. Was it the new Microsoft account or just logging in with your, relogging, or what do you think what it was? Oh, it's doing an update. Ooh, that might have had something to do with it. Interesting. Hey, at least it's working. That's the important part. Viper Strike has landed at the final stop. Well, happy to help, Unclear. I don't know what I did, but as long as it's working, that's what matters. And as long as it works and you didn't lose anything. I used to fly with y'all sometimes. It's interesting. Well, that's awesome. Be glad to have you along. You know how it works, though. You know, this sim likes to do weird things. Wait, what? We got clouds? Well, I'll be. Maybe the weather's more clear than I thought. And it's nice here, but I would have expected some more clouds over Detroit, but whatever. Update is going fast, so should be good when I tried to update it before, just got stuck at a certain point for hours. So I think maybe when I did the initial, it's possible. It could have gotten hung up on a particular package. And I don't know. There's so many questions when it comes to this sim that it's a wonder that it works at all sometimes, if I'm honest. You probably didn't do anything wrong, it's the sim. 6 knots is off. Glad you enjoyed it. Sorry there wasn't more flying, and sorry about all the interruptions, but very happy to have you along. You take care of yourself, and we'll catch you next time. This is my troll account. Well, that's sketch. Could I learn to fly from MSFS? Or is it like learning to drive playing Need for Speed? No, you could learn how to fly, the basics of flying for real in this. You couldn't using GTA 5 to learn how to fly would be like using Need for Speed to learn how to drive. This is designed to simulate the real, as supposed to be like simulating the real thing. So basically, you could learn a lot of the skills and whatnot needed to fly in the real world from the sim. Okay, so I see the airport. That's probably our airport. Right off the engine there. And we're only 16 nautical miles from the next waypoint, which is right over the race course. That should be fine. Even if you had a Xbox controller, even you could even fly on that if you wanted to. So, Thrustmaster joystick, you should be fine. And chances are there's probably a default key binding for your joystick. At least there's a pretty good chance anyway. That's got to be our airport. Speaking of, what is the frequency for MFD? 122.95. About that big West bells and throttle thing. I never used it though. Yeah. If you hook it up and you've got it, it'll work. It'll just might take some getting used to. It's 125. I don't know where I got. The other frequency from. I'm looking at a website called SkyVector. Otherwise, the InSim ATC will have all that for you. You'll be able to tune into this. If you get stuck on a package, you navigate to that folder and delete it, and it should start right back up where it left off. It's just AI. There is real ATC, like real people ATC, but it's not embedded into the sim. I don't think this is right at all. You have a good night, Red Dragon. Glad to see you again. You have a good one, Muse fan. Thanks for hanging along. And there's Mid-Ohio Racecourse. Mid-Ohio Race Sports Car Course. Why am I not picking up Mansfield? That's 125.3. I'm on 125.3. Don't know. We'll find out when we get there. What runway we should. So we'll get turned onto the course and get down for our last landing of the evening. So, Mid-Ohio looks pretty darn good in the sim. Even for not being photogrammetry, even when it was enabled. It was kind of cool to have a look at it. Now, we'll see if this has better information for us. Uh, 3408. So runway 32. We'll aim for runway 32 for landing. Hello. The Great Spire of Mansfield, Ohio. So we've got the airfield in sight. We're kind of on a... We'll have a long final to the runway. Quiet you. Airplane a little bit, get the airspeed down. Some flaps out. Pull the throttle back. That is a tall tower for such a small airfield. Here's hope the METAR wins match the sim wins. Wow, there's like no buildings here. And a really tall tower. Hey, look, the winds match fairly closely for once. What does this airport have against turnoffs? Holy cow. Like, holy cow. There should have been a turnoff like ages ago. Oh, flaps are in, strobe lights off, landing light off. We'll stop here because it looks like we actually have some people still flying. Give them the credit for landing, or give them their due attention for landing. Sticking with the stream. Considering we've dropped approximately 30 viewers since the start. Reward those few that actually stuck with the issues. Got Catbat 9, the legend himself, inbound. Nicely done, Catbat. Got Sean Legoman in next, followed by Scorpio. I think that's a racetrack right there, the Mansfield Speedway. Old oval course. Nicely done, Sean Legoman. And Scorpio in a Seneca. Nicely done. So we're going to have a quick look at this because I didn't anticipate this being so close. I think this is what the track that I think it is. Yeah. I do believe this is the Mansfield Speedway, which is an oval track, obviously. Huh. How about it? Glad you enjoyed it. Down in front, sorry for all the times that the sim decided to interrupt it. But I do want to extend my sincerest gratitudes to those of you that finished the flight and for those of you that stuck with it the entire way, and stuck through the end. There was only 16 of you until a mere moment ago, and now it's only up to 20 viewers. But I want to sincerely thank you all for all the gift subscriptions, to the new follows, to the bits, and all that stuff. Just lurking into chat, just watching the stream, it all means a lot to me. Something's got to be done about the stability of the sim, and some of the neat features need to be addressed. Connectivity issues, but well, we kind of went in the middle of nowhere, and I turned basically all the interesting stuff off. That's a lot of reason why. Generic models and all that stuff. All the stuff that you'd really want to see is, you know, the stuff that's causing the problems. So it is what it is. But until next time, which should be Thursday, whether it's going to be Flight Sim or not, I don't know. Because I don't have a whole lot of faith in Flight Sim right now. I don't have a lot of faith in Asobo right now. Something's got to change my mind on that, and it's going to take a lot. So it might be something different, might be a change of pace on Thursday. We'll see. But until then, take care of yourselves, be good to each other, stay safe out there, and we'll catch you next time. Take care.